Welcome to WealthShot, where we turn complicated money lessons into minutes that actually change your life. The average person earns over $1 million across a working lifetime, yet most people retire with less than $100,000 saved, and a staggering number have almost nothing at all. It's not laziness. Most people work incredibly hard for decades. The honest answer is simpler. Nobody ever sat them down and explained how money actually works. This video fixes that gap with 5 specific mathematical rules, the same ones used by financial advisors and some of the most successful investors in history. Stay until Rule 3, because it's the one even hardworking, well-intentioned people get completely backwards, and fixing it alone can prevent years of financial stress. Rule number 1, pay yourself first. Here's the pattern most people follow. Income arrives, rent gets paid, groceries get bought, bills get covered, and whatever's left at the end of the month becomes savings. The problem is there's rarely anything left because expenses tend to expand to match exactly what's available. Behavioral economists have documented this pattern extensively. The fix is to reverse the order completely. The moment income arrives, before a single bill is paid, 10% moves automatically into a separate account. Not what's left over, but the first 10% every time, without exception. This removes willpower from the equation entirely, because you never see that money as available to spend. If your income is $2,000 a month, that's $200 moved automatically. Invested at a historical average return of 7%, that habit becomes over $160,000 in 25 years. Not from a high salary, but from one automated decision that takes 30 seconds to set up. Rule number 2, never buy what you can't afford twice. Before any significant purchase, ask one question. If I had to buy this exact item again right now in cash with zero stress, could I actually do it? If the honest answer is no, you can't afford it yet. This filter works in real time, at the exact moment temptation is highest. Standing at checkout or scrolling through a sale, consider what it quietly eliminates. The car loan stretched across 6 years, the vacation still being paid off 18 months later, the upgrade bought only because everyone else seemed to have one. None of these feel dangerous individually, but stacked together over years, they're the biggest reason hardworking people with decent incomes still feel financially stuck. This rule doesn't mean denying yourself nice things forever. It means earning them first. So purchases come without debt and without quiet regret 3 months later. Rule number 3 is the one most people get completely backwards. Build your emergency fund before you invest a single dollar. Here's what happens constantly. Someone starts investing $200 a month, and 3 months later, their car needs an $800 repair. With no cash buffer, they're forced to either go into debt or sell their investments at a loss just to cover it. In both cases, the damage extends far beyond $800. They lose future compounding growth and often the motivation to ever invest again. The target is $1,000 saved in a separate, untouched account before any investing begins. Research from major financial institutions shows that roughly 80% of financial emergencies cost under $1,000. So a single buffer that size protects against the vast majority of situations life actually throws at you. Build it first, keep it separate, and only touch it for genuine emergencies. Only then does investing make real structural sense. Rule number 4, let compound interest do the heavy lifting and give it maximum time. Invest $50 a month into a simple index fund, earning the historical average return of around 10% annually. After 10 years, that's about $9,500, with $6,000 being your own contribution. After 20 years, it grows to roughly $38,000, with your contribution being just $12,000. After 30 years, it reaches approximately $113,000, while your total contribution across all 30 years is only $18,000. Compound interest silently added $95,000 on top of that. The variable that matters most isn't how much you invest. It's how early you start. Someone beginning at 25 will almost always end up with significantly more than someone starting the same habit at 35, even if they later invest more to catch up. Time, once lost, cannot be repurchased at any price. Rule number 5, buy the whole market instead of trying to beat it. Every year, researchers track how professional fund managers perform against the S&P 500 index, representing the 500 largest companies in the United States. The result, repeated year after year, more than 90% of professional fund managers fail to beat that index over any extended period. These are people with finance degrees, research teams, and decades of experience, and 90% of them still can't consistently beat a fund that simply buys everything. An index fund solves this elegantly. You're not betting on one company, you're buying a small slice of 500 companies at once, with extremely low fees and no emotional decisions about individual stocks. Warren Buffett has publicly stated that the vast majority of his own wife's inheritance should go into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. If that's good enough for Warren Buffett, it's almost certainly good enough for the rest of us. Let's bring all 5 rules together. Pay yourself first, with 10% moved automatically before any bill is paid. Never buy what you can't afford twice in cash without stress. Build a $1,000 emergency fund before you invest a single dollar. Let compound interest work for decades, not months, because time matters more than the amount you start with. And buy index funds instead of trying to outsmart the market. Because if 90% of professionals can't beat it, you likely won't either. None of these 5 rules require a finance degree, a high salary, or perfect timing. What they require is consistency, applied patiently over years instead of weeks, and that single trait is the real secret behind nearly every story of someone who built lasting wealth starting from nothing. If this helped, subscribe to WealthShot for one new money lesson every single week. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. See you in the next one.